So we got our valves back from marketing. They got all the pictures they needed. We're using a hexane solution to wash any of the oils out of the deposits on the valve. After we're done washing these out, we'll stick them in an oven for 5 minutes just to kind of burn the rest of it out, and then into a desiccator for 24 hours. Once they're out of there, we'll move into the lab and start getting valve weights before we put everything back together. So we got done with the hexane wash, getting ready to put the valves into the oven here. We use the oven to burn off the rest of the hexane and any other oil or vapors that are left in the valves. After they sit in here for about 5 minutes at 200 degrees, we'll pull them out and put them into our desiccate chamber. This here just sucks the rest of the moisture out of them, make sure there's nothing left. That way when we go to weigh the valves, we only have just the carbon deposits and the valve weight, no other effects, anything else to affect the weight.
So right now I am just taking a 20x picture of the injectors, so that if I get lost in trying to rotate it and find all the individual holes, I can look at this and figure out where I'm at. And then I will reposition the scope so that I can look at and zoom in on the holes of the injector tip. Right now I'm looking for a starting spot where I can essentially index the injector so that I know which hole I'm calling number one, because they aren't numbered normally. And I really don't know how many holes there'll be on there. Some of them they're anywhere from 4 to 8. So I'm just trying to find a spot that I can call number one, so that we can zoom in and look at the deposits that are being left on the injector, and potentially deposits that are inside of the injector holes. Generally they come to me before a service so that we can look at them, take pictures of them, and then send them back to the proving ground to be used, reinstalled, so that the service can be run on them. And then we will do this all again to look at them after the fact. Then I switch my lenses so that I can zoom in to the spot that I need and verify that I'm on in one of the actual injector holes. We're able to take pictures. We zoom in too far and then take pictures as the microscope backs out, so that we can look at all the different layers. Because the deposits are in 3 dimensions, if you try to zoom in and you're looking at one spot, you can't really take a picture of the whole thing because then it might be out of focus in another spot. These holes are, I'm not really even seeing the hole. I'm seeing a hole that's blasted through the deposit, so I've got to kind of figure out exactly where it is and how far I can see into it. So you can see here deposits down inside of the actual injector. These are at 500x, and this is where I'll set for all the remaining holes. Once I save the picture, then I zoom out, rotate it, zoom back in, and do the same thing.
Well, we're setting up the flow bench now. We're going to be using this one to get a little bit better spray pattern view here in this window, and we'll be checking the flow rates here. Like I said, this will be the initial testing, so we'll really see if they're flowing even, uneven, if maybe one is putting out a lot more volume than the rest. If there's any holes that are plugged, be able to see those either not spraying, it'll spray at like a weird angle, might just drip out of it.
So we got our pistons here. These four were out of the engine, and then we've got a brand new one. This scope here can be used to measure thicknesses. So we're using it to measure the deposit thickness on top of this piston. In order to do that, we have to have a new one to measure in 7 different places on here to get a baseline, and then we can go in and do the same places on each piston individually, and we can get how much carbon is actually built up on top of them. So we're in the lab now. We got our valves out of the desiccator. They were in there for 24 hours. We're gonna go ahead and get some weights on them. We've got 2 brand new valves here to get baseline weights, so we know what a non-dirty weight. You can get a non-dirty weight and then a dirty weight. So go ahead and get these all weighed out.
Yep.